there's a lot of problems with the way everything is, and I think a big one is people are comparing themselves to people that they should not be comparing themselves to. Like, we have casual, unprofessional, normal people comparing themselves unfavorably to industry professionals who put out videos under their own names, but what they don't really tell you about is that there's like a dozen of people working on those videos, and I keep wanting to call them AV because both a lot of aspects of the video, from the visuals to the audio to whatever else, is highly edited with several layers of productions, and what is immediately shoved in our faces on the front page of all internet video sites is high-grade, highly produced professional stuff. And I'm gonna bring this up a lot about the problems with people comparing themselves to industry professionals, and just this mentality that a lot of people have that if you're not top tier, you should just sit down and shut up, and that's not true at all. I think that casual, regular people have tons and tons of inherent value that it just wouldn't ever get to TV, and I guess I'm just gonna bring this up a whole lot because there's so much to say about it. There's a lot to be said. Everyone talks about how on TV people don't talk like people do in real life, and there's justification for it. Like, TV time is of the essence, and if you were to talk realistically on TV, you would just be saying and stumbling over your words for the whole duration, and it would be pretty awkward. It's kind of interesting the way we compartmentalize the things that we see. The stuff we see in real life, we consider it normal, and the stuff we see in media, we also consider that normal, but nary the twain shall meet. There's also another problem inherent with people paid to produce media. If a person writing a book is paid by the word, they're going to fill up the book with horrible junk. And I think a reason why a lot of people don't read a whole lot anymore is because books are massively bloated now. They are pages and pages of just junk. And podcasts that you'll see on the internet, you can just tell when the people are being paid to make a podcast because they sit around talking about garbage and junk, and it's actually very cringy. I could think of a few examples where people that were once liked and once made media that other people wanted to consume, they were ending up just sitting around spouting off garbage, looking around awkwardly, coughing, and they would start telling unfunny jokes to kill time, and they would drag the jokes out for like several minutes, and they would talk very slowly. And that actually reminds me of some phone scams that were in the 90s. I was too young to actually experience them, but going on what other people said about those phone scams, basically they're hotlines, and maybe you could find some information about those phone hotline things, but basically they would talk as slowly as possible, slower than I'm talking right now. And I think that something very similar is kind of going on today, like a different cause, but it has the same end effect, you know? Anyway, it's better to just produce content from the heart and let it be rough and raw, and don't beat yourself up for being, coarse and unprofessional. You can always improve, you can practice, edit, get to know other people, bounce ideas off each other, try new things, and move forward, because it's not like somebody's gonna take your paycheck away if you don't put out content. I mean, just look around, and I think these people have to sign NDAs. I don't know. It's not something they talk about, but when you consider that they are being paid to make horrible, really bad podcasts, but they don't ever talk about how they're being paid. they just pretend they're doing it out of the love of doing it, but you could tell there's no spark or enthusiasm in it. Sometimes it's better to just end things when they come to an end. Another example on that is shows like, say, The Simpsons. It's a zombie show that started off fantastic and wonderful, and then it became a horrible, horrible zombie. So it's like, I'm not good at math, but it's like The Simpsons is only good for roughly a third of its life, or a quarter, or something like that. And yeah, I think this is a good enough starting point.